To automate Vault Azure Auth, you need to understand the basics of HashiCorp Vault and Azure Authentication. Vault is a secrets management tool that helps secure sensitive data, while Azure provides a range of cloud computing services. Automating Azure Auth in Vault enables you to manage access to Azure resources securely and efficiently. First, you need to create an Azure Service Principal, which is an identity used by applications to authenticate with Azure. This service principal will be used by Vault to authenticate with Azure. To create a service principal, go to the Azure portal and navigate to the Azure Active Directory section. Create a new application and add the necessary permissions to allow Vault to authenticate with Azure. Next, you need to configure Vault to use the Azure Auth backend. This involves creating a new Auth backend in Vault and specifying the Azure Service Principal credentials. You can do this using the Vault command line interface or the Vault UI. You will need to provide the tenant ID, client ID, and client secret of the Azure Service Principal. Once the Azure Auth backend is configured, you can create a new role in Vault that maps to an Azure role. This role will define the permissions that users will have when they authenticate with Azure. Through Vault, you can create multiple roles to map to different Azure roles, depending on your organization's requirements. To automate the process, you can use Vault's built-in automation features, such as the Vault API or the Vault Terraform provider. The Vault API allows you to automate tasks using scripts or programming languages, while the Vault Terraform provider allows you to automate Vault configuration using Terraform. Best practices for automating Vault Azure Auth include using least privilege access, where users have only the necessary permissions to perform their tasks. You should also use secure storage for sensitive data, such as the Azure Service Principal credentials. Additionally, you should monitor and audit Vault and Azure activity to detect any security issues. In summary, automating Vault Azure Auth involves creating an Azure Service Principal, configuring the Azure Auth backend in Vault, creating roles that map to Azure roles, and using automation features to streamline the process. By following these steps and best practices, you can securely and efficiently manage access to Azure resources using Vault.